Biology Unit of the Institute between 1993 and 2002. In the year 2003, Dr. Sajinga achieved the feat of being the first Africa to be appointed the Executive Director of the Tropical Soil Biology and Fertility Institute of the Centro Internacional de Agricultura Tropical, based in Nairobi, Kenya, where he served until 2011, providing leadership in research, partnership, resource mobilization, and management, and expanding its research and development focus from Western Kenya to cover the major agro-ecosystems of East, Central, and Southern Africa. As the Executive Director of CIAT-TFPF, Dr. Sazinga was able to build the Institute from a meager budget of $1.2 million in 2003 to $14.5 billion as at the end when he left office in 2011, and consequently expanding its research for development activities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ntaraya Sajinga achieved another feat when he assumed the leadership of the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, IITA Ibadan, on the 1st of November 2011, being the first Africa to hold that position since the inception of the Institute in 1967. Under his able leadership, IITA has been transformed from a Pan-African research organization into a truly international research for development organization with a tropical but very Africa focus, developing solutions to many agricultural and development challenges and contributing to food and nutrition security in the region. As a research administrator, published more than 150 research articles in peer-reviewed international journals and has received many international awards, notable being the Sylvan Broad Award by the International Foundation for Science in Stockholm, Sweden in 1990. The area, both by its own research and its assistance to other developing country scientists. End of quote. Dr. Sajinga is a member and fellow of several professional associations, among which are International Union of Soil Science, Soil Science Society of America, and the Africa Association for Biological Sajinga is married to Charlotte and they are blessed with 4 children, a male and 3 females. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Sajinga to deliver the 28th convocation lecture of the Federal University of Technology titled Transformation of African Agriculture, the Journey So Far. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to stand on the existing protocol. I just want to take a moment and take it all in. What a beautiful venue. And just a few words before I actually start the picture. I arrived here yesterday around 1 o'clock. But I didn't get to the university until this morning. What I'm going to do today is present a condensed version of the lecture. The lecture itself, if I were to read it, might take 2 or 3 hours. So, and we're not going to do that. So it'll be a You will notice these things throughout the lecture today. First of all, he believes in partnerships. He believes there is only one way to success in research or in development or in delivery of technologies, and that is working with partners and through partnerships. He believes that the way to success in IITA itself is teamwork. Nobody can achieve things alone, and he has always emphasized great teamwork, and he puts a high premium on every employee at IITA. Whether you're the driver, the office cleaner, the director of a program, we are all very important. In fact, one of the stories he likes to tell is that some of the most important people at IITA are the drivers. He said, you are the people that are we must have some future drivers. Because the drivers are the first person to meet a VIP at Lagos Airport. And they will be with that person for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, driving them to Ibadan. And in that time, the driver can create a very good impression that will be long-lasting, or they could create a poor impression. So just some of the things he values, and just maybe to repeat, the whole of the institute is important. If one unit in the institute, for example, financial management, has a problem, the whole institute can collapse. And I could name all the different units, but if even one of them is not functioning well, the whole institute has a problem. So he really takes care of the whole institute. So let me go ahead with the lecture. This lecture gives a brief review of IITA accomplishments since its establishment in 1967, and then looks back on my first term as Director General and what has been accomplished during these 5 years to make the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, the leading research for development partner, facilitating agricultural solutions to overcome hunger and poverty in the tropics. Important events, decisions, and results that have impacted the life of IITA staff, partners, and livelihoods of African farmers are documented. Africa continues to be plagued by food insecurity, poverty, and exploding population, climate change, and dwindling and degraded natural resources. As the largest international agricultural research center in tropical Africa, IITA has developed solutions to these agricultural and development challenges and contributed to food and nutrition security in the region. Its research for development work in the last 50 years has transformed African agriculture, resulting in changes in mindset of governments, national research programs, and farmers about agriculture as a business at all levels and as a driver of economic development and wealth creation, and ensuring that agriculture gets funding and support in public and private sector investment. The impacts of IITA's work on smallholder farmers, including women and youth, are evident in the adoption of improved varieties of almost 400 cassava varieties, with increased yields and better resistance to pests and diseases and environmental stresses. Over 100 IITA-bred cowpea materials, 327 maize varieties, 70% IITA germplasm, 78 improved yam varieties, introduction of soybean as a food tag crop in West Africa, adoption of drought-tolerant maize in 13 countries with projected economic gains of $970 million. Introduction of cowpea and soybean for nutritional benefits of biofortified yellow cassava and maize. Development of glyphosate against aflatoxins and its commercialization in 11 sub-Saharan African countries. It's helping trade in groundnuts and maize and making food supplies safer for Africa. In West Africa alone, the economic benefits of using biological control practices developed by IITA against cassava green mice reached 100-fold. That means $100 return for every $1 investment. IITA introduced a natural enemy that reduced the infestation by more than 90%, benefiting Nigeria by $1.367 billion. That's billion. Ghana by $305 million and Benin by $54 million. IITA and CS work on African-wide cassava bug control reduced losses by 90%, valued at $29 billion in crop recovery. In Nigeria, IITA had been collaborating with the federal government and the Agriculture Transformation Agenda. The National Agriculture Research System for Farmers. It is the same story in other African countries, where IITA has been encouraging job creation and employment generation practically, raising production in smallholder farmers. That was the general overview of IITA impact. But now I want to go into phase one of DG Sanginga's first term as Director General, and the strategy from 2012 to 2016, strategy, action, and growth. The first thing is my first board meeting took place in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania on 4 December 2011. The entire board meeting discussion was dominated by the failed investment of $15 million in 2008 and 2009. This was a shock to me and incoming board chair, Mr. Bolton, as we were not informed of the lost investment. Let me give some more context to this. Immediately, Sanginga became Director General. About a month later, he had his first Board of Trustees meeting. In that meeting, they told him, Dr. Sanginga, we have to inform you that we have lost $15 million. I think we can all imagine, if you're the new DG and this is what you learned from your board, it's quite a shock. This shock is almost enough to threaten the closure of the Institute. Of course, it wasn't his fault. It had happened years before he arrived. And he was advised by several people, Dr. Sanginga, to recover from this, what you need to do is first evaluate your staff. Maybe you need to cut 20% of them, 30% of them. Then that staff that's remaining, maybe you need to reduce their salaries and benefits, because you just don't have the money. He listened to them. But in his own mind, he told himself, I will resign from DG of IITA before I do anything like that. He came back to Ibadan. He called all the staff, the scientists, the directors, everybody. He informed them of the challenge that they were facing. And he said, first of all, number one, nobody is going to lose their job. Everybody has your job. I swear to it as DG. I will lose my job before any of you lose your job. Second, everyone here is getting a big pay raise today. A big pay raise. And the people are like, what is going on? Is this man mad or what? He said, but you have to promise me that starting today, you are going to do everything in your power to make IITA great. Whatever your job is, you have to promise it. Trust me, from that day on, IITA started growing and growing stronger every day. I thought it was good that I tell you this, because this shows the character of Dr. Sanginga. And you will see throughout my presentation today how that has helped IITA. Strategizing for efficiency. Developed and elaborated the IITA Refresh Strategy 2012 to 2020. The whole institute, the board of trustees, management, scientists, and staff participated in this exercise to help to lay out a vision and successful implementation of R4D across Africa. The emphasis here, it was the whole institute that wrote the strategy. It's not Dr. Sangingo who said, here is our strategy. Everybody was involved. And he can show you over 1,000 email messages that were sent to him to put that strategy together. Remember what Sangingo believes about teamwork. Build a top committed team by strengthening and elevating the Partnership and Capacity Development Directorate, rejuvenating our natural resource management competency, recruiting a DG, R4D, and a DG, EDG Corporate Services, and elevating the finance unit to a directorate level. IITA's management team has become a valuable asset in leading IITA. But just as in football, where excellent individual players are always important assets, playing as a team is far more important. Teams always trump individuals. Even with the right team in place, it takes time for a group of highly intelligent, ambitious, and independent people to align themselves and move in one direction in a coordinated manner. Now, this is the team as it was about 3 years ago. That's me on the left. Sangingo is in the middle there in the blue shirt. The DDG for research was Gilbert Hilbert. The DDG for corporate services, Kwame Wapoto, and the director of finance, Mr. Shalona. Set up the Partnerships and Capacity Development Directorate. Partnership and capacity development received little attention during the decade before Sangingo joined, both in terms of investment and leadership. One of my first big decisions was to create the Partnership and Capacity Development Directorate. The small training unit at IITA was elevated and transformed to the level of the DDG Directorate. And Ken Dashield, who has always maintained that partnerships are required for meaningful R4D, and that strategic communication and capacity development will ensure success in the future, was recruited to lead the directorate. PCD's mission sounded simple: to actively build the capacity of our own staff and partners, maintain and nurture those existing institutional partnerships, and actively seek new partners who would walk shoulder to shoulder with us down the road towards our common vision of agriculture development in Africa. And today, we have a partnership with this university in Minna. But today, we are strengthening that partnership and making it bigger and better. However, simple did not mean easy. We knew that Ken and his team at PCD had their work cut out for them, especially since IITA did not already have a concerted strategy, much less a formal unit dedicated to promoting and pushing partnerships. But we were sure that the PCD team was up to the task, and they did not disappoint that confidence. From 2011 to 2016, we not only renewed and strengthened existing institutional partnerships, but also established more than 100 new ones of the local, regional, and international types. These strengthened and new partnerships not only reinforce IITA's research for development activities, they also confirm our foothold as Africa's leading research partner in finding solutions to hunger and poverty. Additionally, through these partnerships, our image and brand quality science is amplified. There is no better way to build credibility than through the word of others. Accelerated the decentralization of hubs. The consolidation of facilities and administration into regional hubs represents important strategic assets that keep IITA engaged in local and regional arenas and help in establishing partnerships, mobilizing resources, implementing research, and managing risk. So Dr. Sangingo embarked on a massive campaign to build the infrastructure of IITA. And as I've already read, the motivation for this is when you build your own infrastructure and you are permanently, physically located in a country, the country believes in you. You are there working with them. You haven't come to some city and rented a building. So this picture here is the IITA station in Kalambo, Bukavu, in DRC. You remember this is actually his hometown where he was born and raised. And this is the IITA research station built there.